frying beans on toast?
I know, right? What psychos. Now, Americans, on the other hand, we just obviously have it so much better, right? I mean, take a look. Just take a look.
What country is the Queen of England from? Originally.
I definitely don't know.
No, give me your best guess. Guess a country.
What is the country again?
Do you know what country the Panama Canal is in?
No. No.
Guess a country. What do you think it is? Like, what does it sound like it's in?
Europe.
Yes. Do you know what 77 plus 23 is?
Around 115-ish, 7.
It's a shape with 4 sides called. I don't know. Can you name 3 countries besides the USA?
Wait, aren't countries in... No, wait, yeah? Wait.
Do you know how many continents there are?
No, I'm stupid.
No, you know this. Take a number.
50?
What country did the Vietnam War happen in?
Canada.
Yes. What does Y-E-S spell?
Y-E-S?
Yeah.
Y-E-S? I don't know. How does Y-E-S? What? You say.
What does Y-E-S spell?
West, right? West?
But the British are putting beans on toast. What idiots.
Americans could never survive a UK summer. It gets ridiculously hot here for like a week. And what's the hottest it gets? It has gotten up to 34 degrees Celsius. Excuse me while I look up what the heck that is. Yeah, I don't know Celsius, blah, blah. Got up to 93. That's pretty hot. So you wouldn't be able to survive it. We have been in 90-degree weather where I live for weeks. Yeah, but you have air conditioning. You are right. I do have air conditioning. It's really nice. We don't have air conditioning. But if it's so terrible, why don't you get air? Because we don't have the infrastructure for it. You can get a floor unit or a window unit. Because our windows don't allow for window units. And floor units use energy. Don't you like plug in your refrigerator? Yeah, but that's because I need it for food. Well, if you plug in an AC unit, it'd be kind of similar to that, but probably uses less energy. Because we don't need air conditioning, we just suffer through it. That's the thing, you don't have to suffer through it. You could get an air conditioning unit. I don't understand, because you have children who die in school from school shootings. How do you get there? How do you always get there? Jesus Christ.
Being American in a country like Europe is that you feel like an idiot.
A country like Europe.
These are things I genuinely hate about traveling through Europe as an American. Number one, in the US, you typically get your gate assignment as soon as you get your boarding pass. But in Europe, they literally don't tell you until like 15 minutes before your flight leaves. And then when you finally get to your gate, there's typically never an agent there. And don't even get me started on these damn buses. In the US, you typically board the airport directly from the gate, but here they're gonna put you on a bus and they're gonna cram you inside and they're gonna take you all the way to the other side of the tarmac. And if that wasn't inconvenient enough, then they make you haul your luggage up these damn stairs. In the heat, may I add. And then if you're traveling with a child, they typically make you check your stroller with the checked bags as opposed to just checking it right at the gate, which also means you don't have a stroller when you land and get off the plane. And if you're flying a budget airline, girl, you better bring your own water, snacks, beverages, because they don't even offer a complimentary drink service. But honestly, even though a lot of these things are inconvenient, I get to travel so affordably now. Because just last week, I flew to Venice for 15 euros. So even though traveling can be frustrating here, it's also much more accessible.
If a European asks, where are you from? And you respond, the US, without fail, you will get, I know that, I meant like where in the US. If you are not from California, New York, Las Vegas, can't even say Nevada, Florida, Texas, they're going to be like, wait, sorry, where is that state? If you lead with a state, then you're a weirdo for leading with the state. And don't even try to say some random city that they haven't heard of because they're not here for that.
This is a toothbrush in the United States, and this is a toothbrush in the UK. Apparently, they don't have toothbrushes there. Instead, they put alcohol on their finger and rub it against their teeth. And because of this, their teeth turn this golden color, which is how we got the story of Midas. Did you know that in England, they don't eat regular popcorn? Instead, they take corn from a can and cook it in the microwave until each and every kernel pops and starts on fire. And that's what they consider fireworks. Did you know they don't have measuring spoons in England? They just use spoons, which is why they don't like to use seasoning on their food, because they're not able to measure it adequately. So instead, they just use salt. Their obsession with salt led to the salt famine of 1682. And during this time, British royalty would have to go to people's houses to try to take their salt from them. To protect their salt, the lower class would pour it out outside their house. And this is why people depict witches as making salt circles as a form of protection.
I'm an American who moved to Belgium, and it is amazing, truly, how comfortable Europeans are with shitting on my country, my culture, and the people of my country. Superiority complex is crazy sometimes. I want to talk about it, especially because it would not be accepted towards any other country, but the US it's fine, it's okay. People come up to me, make jokes about Americans are so fat, and they don't know geography, and their schooling is shit, the education is shit, people are really dumb. They're not hardworking, they're pretty lazy. And it's really funny because the majority of those people have never been to the US, and if they have, clock it, they've been to New York, Miami, or LA, and generalize an entire country with nearly 400 million people. The majority of these people are wearing all American brands, consuming all American artists, and streaming all American shows and movies. So what is it? You like it when it entertains you, but then also want to actively shit on it. Please make it make sense. Politically, my country's on fire right now, actually burning to the ground. So if you want to talk about politics all day, every day, I'm here to entertain that and actually like laugh at the jokes and agree with you because it's embarrassing. Like what's happening is devastating. But when it comes to the people, the culture, which they claim we don't have culture, and the tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions, of beautiful, hardworking, and very talented Americans, I feel kind of a duty to defend because I just think it's kind of bullshit. Like, it's just kind of bullshit. And it's giving very close-minded and dense. But it's funny because if I meet someone new, not always, but sometimes it's when they hear that I'm American, they feel so comfortable going right into all of the criticisms, which is super unfortunate because, for example, my girlfriend, when she comes to the US, people are literally praising. They love the fact that she's from Belgium, the fact that she's from Europe. They think it's actually incredible and they want to learn more and they're asking questions and they think that it's so amazing, like learning about a different culture. For those of you who don't know, we have culture, we have a lot of it. The country is literally built off of immigrants, so we have so much unique, different ethnic cultures, African American culture, music, the food there, insane. And I get it, just say you haven't like traveled without saying you haven't traveled to the US properly. I would encourage you to go to more than just the touristy cities and you'll really experience the culture and see how nice American people are, how well they can host you, how good the food is. I am all for giving criticism to my country in terms of healthcare. It's shit. Our political system, it's shit. And to our current president, fuck him. But when it comes to the actual beauty of growing up American, I need to talk about it. My experience was incredible. I literally, when I tell my girlfriend's friends, who are very nice by the way, they're always super intrigued that I had that kind of like High School Musical Glee experience of being in theater and then being in drama club, but then being on the football team and then going to the pep assemblies and the rallies on Fridays for the Friday night lights and being in photography class, but then also being in a pottery class. That was my experience. And I loved the way I grew up. I love being American, not in the sense of the political ties that come with it, but I love the simplicity of how I grew up. If you're watching this and you have caught yourself saying some of these things, I would encourage you to refrain. I would encourage you to do your research, actually experience the culture, form your own opinions, and think before you say. They have effects, and actually just is not a good look on you in general because, again, kind of giving closed-minded and dense. So to conclude, no, you are not better or superior because you're European. We don't have control over our politics. Well, at least I don't, because I didn't vote for the man, and neither did a large majority of the country. So please be kind and save the judgments for your head.
Not inhaling cigarette smoke.
So no one smokes in the whole of the United States. I mean, I get it, because cigarette smoke is disgusting. Even to people who smoke, it's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, stop smoking.
But you're kind of like saying this as if cigarettes are a new concept on you.
Grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken. I'm gonna have to ask again, did you ask for it? Travelling in Europe, probably going to restaurants and cafes, many of which serve grilled chicken. I mean, in countries like Greece, it's a fucking staple. You're telling me that in the entire continent of Europe, you couldn't find somewhere, just somewhere, that sold grilled chicken? How do you function in the United States? When you're back home in America, and you go into a restaurant and just seat yourself, does a waiter just come over and shovel chicken into your mouth without asking?
I wish. Oh, I wish, son. Oh, I wish. I love me some chicken.
And do they follow it up by water-boarding you with ice water?
Hydration.
And I just found out that people from the UK aren't religious. Like 80% of the population is atheist. Is this what you would call culture shock? Because I'm sitting here like, how is that even possible? In an entire country, like a first world country. Do y'all not believe in heaven and hell then? Are you like, you're not afraid of everlasting condemnation?
3 things about British people that annoy the absolute hell out of me.
Oh, we're doing this again. Okay, what?
Why do you guys love a lion so much?
What's a lion?
Like, there's not a single morning person in this country.
Oh, you meant a lie-in, not a lion. I got it.
I like to go to the coffee shops early, but no, they don't open till like 10 a.m.
10? You ever been to England?
Because no one is out and about. What are you guys all doing?
We're all up at work because you're an idiot.
I've lived a full day by 10 a.m. Just like get out of bed.
I'm convinced there's no brain cells up there. I'm actually convinced of it. I'm fully convinced.
Number 2, British people hate confrontation and will do anything to avoid it.
Oh,
I'm like, that woman just caught you in line. Tell her.
this is just so funny to me because everyone always says that the Brits are so abrupt and we're so like quick to anger and stuff, and this person's saying that we wouldn't tell someone to get out of line.
People are like, oh no, sorry. I'm like, why? Just say something.
Yeah, this bitch has definitely never been to England.
The last is, you guys are the hardest people on earth to read. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you excited? You'll never know because they always just look like this.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Americans are shaming now Europeans for not tipping like 20 to 30% on the restaurant bills instead of blaming their own government for the unfair wages. But the Dutch actually in 1672 ate their own prime minister because they were unsatisfied with his governance. So America, if you wanted to, you...
Every single time a Western European comes onto this app and starts whacking it off at the idea of exploiting an underpaid worker, it makes me want to stand in front of a target at a hatchet throwing competition. First of all, with the whole stroopwafel, this, that, the other, we ate our prime minister in the 1600s bullshit, do they not teach y'all chronology and those excellent education systems that you have? Because that was over 400 years ago. Technology and military technology has widely advanced since then. You know, y'all probably had a sword, a stick, a stolen musket, and a shield in your armory at that point. But now in 2023, the United States police force is highly militarized. You know, look up Cop City if that's not too difficult for you to spell. And our military is highly advanced, so any attempt at even coming close to doing something like that wouldn't work out very well. But it doesn't surprise me that y'all have no clue what an advanced military is, considering y'all can't even spend the minimum of 2% of your GDP required to be in NATO. And I've already made a full-length video about why you should respect tipping culture and why not respecting it just ends up terribly for everyone. And I'll link it down below because y'all love bragging about how much better your education system is, how much you love learning, how much more intelligent you are. Maybe you could learn something about this. But I will say one thing, whenever y'all come on this app and scream and shout from the rooftops about how you exploited a worker that you know is underpaid and know makes $2 an hour, it's not giving, oh, I'm sticking it to the man, I'm sticking it to the establishment like you think it is. What it is giving, though, is Pavo traveling on an almost maxed out credit card with high foreign transaction fees. Because how the fuck did you spend maybe 750 euros on a return flight, 27 euros on an ESTA, and maybe 1,000 on hotels, but putting down 20% tip for a $50 bill is just too much for you. It's too much money. Like, if you're broke and want to travel, that's okay. But don't go to expensive restaurants and then short people out on their tips. You know, you could go to McDonald's. You can go to In-N-Out. That's probably within your price range.
France is really out here like, Americans, can you guys please not beat up our pickpocketers? Sweetheart, those aren't even our final bosses. Those are just the people with the PTO days, the credit card points, and the Costco memberships. What y'all got is those moms that say, wine o'clock, literally so unironically, and then Chad over there who orders a croissant in broken French and thinks that's cultural immersion. Now, our real gangsters, y'all haven't even met them yet. Those motherfuckers ain't even got their passport. Our real gangsters are at Spirit Airlines arguing about that $47 freaking carry-on fee. They can't afford a flight to Miami, let alone Paris. Y'all are literally out there fighting our Disneyland Fast Pass crowd and losing. Y'all ain't even got the ones who would turn the Eiffel Tower into the fucking Section 8 housing within 24 hours. Y'all ain't got them yet. Y'all should be grateful that our A-team stayed home, okay? Y'all should be so grateful because Paris is not ready for that.
Honestly, can't even joke with British people. Like, you'll say, oh, it's so gross how you guys put beans on toast. Like, how do you even like that? And then they're like, well, it's better than a school shooting. I'm talking about food. You're talking about innocent kids dying. Or then you make fun of their accents and you're like, oh, it's Tuesday, innit? But then they're like, 9/11 was on a Tuesday, innit? Bro, it's not that serious. Lighten up a bit.
Questions for British people. Do you have radiators? What do they do?
Let's put our brain cells together and work this one out between us. Radiators. Radiates heat. Do you get where I'm going with this?
And do they go cold?
No, because a radiator is meant to give out heat.
Is it true you have two faucets, hot and cold? Like you don't have just one?
Yeah, I mean they're taps. One's hot, one's cold. Majority of them have red on one and blue on the other to direct that one's hot, one's cold.
Don't you burn?
Do we burn? I don't get that question. So because we have two taps that indicate hot and cold, you think we're gonna burn? Only if you're putting your hand under the hot one.
Also, is it true that your houses are totally tiny and right next to each other? I don't know, if I'd like that. Is it true you're obsessed with the weather?
Yeah, because every single person, even if you're just crossing paths with a stranger, you have to say about the weather. And you could just bump into someone and it's a bit chilly out here, isn't it, mate? Yeah, weather's shit because it's dark, gloomy and raining. And then if it's really hot because the UK heat is fucking atrocious, you can't comment on it unless you've been to the UK. And then you'd walk past someone and you'd be like, oh, it's fucking hot in here. We're not obsessed, we just complain.
Why don't you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Why don't you celebrate bonfire night?
Is this the best holiday ever? Also, boring.
So I'm boring because I don't celebrate, or my country doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving.
And is it true you only drink tea? You won't drink anything else?
Yeah, I don't drink anything else because one time I drank water and my fish drowned. When I drink energy drinks, I basically get these rashes on my arse cheeks. When I drink coffee, I basically get visions that I'm gonna get hit by a fucking bus, and then someone actually gets hit by a bus. It's everything I have tried to drink, something bad happens either to somebody else or me. I have to drink tea in order to save everyone. I'm like Superman, but tea edition.
I'm just curious, I don't know.
Of course you don't know, you are American.
Asked a bunch of people from other countries, what are the signs that tell you that someone is an American? When they're visiting your country, what are the giveaways that tell you that that is an American person? Here are the most common answers. This one truly surprised me. One of the most common answers is that Americans are always smiling. Someone said they give gentle grins to strangers that they pass by while making eye contact. It may be well received in the Midwest, but not so much in Germany. Apparently, tourists from other places appear more neutral or even unhappy. Another common answer is that Americans always tip. Someone said Americans would try to tip everyone, even in countries where tipping isn't a thing or could even be considered insulting. Apparently, it's also weird to people in other countries that we don't take the time to sit and enjoy our coffee. Someone said, my partner's Italian mother can't get over the idea of seeing people walk around holding coffees, like in a to-go cup. Americans are the only ones who don't enjoy their coffee while seated at a cafe. But the most common answer, the number one way to know that someone is an American, is our speaking volume. It's the utter lack of an indoor voice that instantly reveals an American. Is anyone else obsessed with learning what people from other countries think of us? Did anything on this list surprise you? Get in the comments, let me know.
Europe is the easiest country to rage bait. That's been a meme going around because it'll get Europeans mad because they're like, Europe's not even a country, it's a continent. Which is obviously the whole point of the rage bait, but actually it got me thinking. Can we talk about the fact that Europe isn't actually a continent for a second? Or rather, Europe is the reason that the word continent has such a loose definition. Because I would rightly attest that we would have a much more simple definition of the word continent if it wasn't for Europeans' inflated sense of self-importance, which is why continent gets defined politically more than geographically. But if we look at the globe, what we would find, and a simple definition for a continent would be a large landmass, large being something more than 1 million square miles, that is separated by either sea or thin peninsulas to differentiate between the landmasses. Now when we look, we could see a clear landmass that we have labeled as North America, and then South America, and when we rotate the globe, we could see Africa, and these are land masses that are separated by either sea or very thin strips of land to meet that very simple definition. We could also go to Australia, which is 1 million or 3 million square miles, so meeting our 1 million mark. Obviously, any of these land masses that are less than 1 million square miles and isolated are called islands. So Australia would be a continent, but something like Greenland would be an island. And whether that's an island that belongs to North America or Europe is up for you to decide. Geographically, it would belong to North America, but politically, it would belong to Europe. Now, moving on from that, we have Antarctica, which is its own continent, and there's only one major landmass left that is not separated by sea or thin peninsula. And you can see in this section here, you have what we know as Europe, and then it keeps going. And you have India and Russia and China. And if I'm to look at this, this is all one continent. Now, what would we call this? Well, I would say the fair thing would be what dominates the landmass and the population, right? So what has the dominance in those areas? So it would make more sense to call this region Asia. And Europe is just a little offshoot from Asia. It's not that important geographically. It's the smallest part of that continent. It's not important. So it is actually geographically more correct to say that Europe is a country, even though it's a collection of countries, because it's certainly not in any geographical sense a continent. The only reason it gets that distinction is because Europeans think they're more important than they actually are. Thank you.
Every time I make a video poking fun at the German accent in English, I get people in the comments that are like, you are mocking these people who are speaking your language for you. Erstens, reden Deutsche kein Englisch mit mir, weil mein Deutsch besser ist als ihr Englisch. Das ist nicht als Beleidigung gemeint, das ist halt Fakt. Ich rede nur Deutsch mit Deutschen. Merkst dir selber, ne? Guck erstmal durch mein Profil, schau erstmal, wer ich bin, und dann, second of all, do you think Germans don't make fun of my accent too? Of Americans trying to, you don't think Germans make fun of us too? Third of all, I fucking love Germany. You're never gonna find someone on here more obsessed with Germany, German culture, German people. Why do you think I spent 10 years learning their language? If you guys can't take a little bit of doing a German accent in English for fun, I love Germans. When we make jokes at you about things, you know what Europeans say to us? Well, your children die in school shootings at school, so. Oh. I'm glad we're keeping it, like, appropriate. I'm glad we're being, like, playful together.
Europeans are some of the most insufferable people online and to converse with in general, and always leading the charge are the Brits.
I've seen about 50 videos of Americans talking about all the Europeans that are going to walk to the MetLife Stadium. There's a bigger issue at play here, that a lot of these Americans don't seem to understand that the world operates in quite a different way outside of America. Like, a lot of these videos that I watch have quite a, like, mocking tone almost. And yeah, it is normal in most places to be able to walk to an event, to a football game, to a rugby game, to whatever.
You keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up.
This whole conversation that's happening online with Europeans and Americans, and Europeans trying to talk down to Americans and trying to talk to Americans about how America operates is one of the most disingenuous, crazy things I've ever seen online. For you to come online and say that Americans don't know how the world operates outside of America, when every single talking point that it's happening from Europe is showing you fundamentally don't know shit about America, it's hilarious to me. I swear the lack of seasoned food, beans and toast and greve are the reasons you guys don't fucking listen. Even worse is that this conversation is happening about New York City, which is arguably one of the most walkable cities in the world, let alone in America. So to make a video talking about PSA, it's normal to walk places, yeah, you fucking idiot, we know. That's why it's an issue for Americans too, that MetLife Stadium is not even in New York City, it's in New Jersey. You don't even understand that our country is basically 50 different countries in one. Transportation, rules, laws, prices are different in every single state. One of the biggest qualms you guys always say you have about us is that we center ourselves. We think America's the center of the world. We don't understand how the world operates outside. When all you're showing is that you as Europeans want America to operate like Europe. And when Americans are telling you our country is nothing like Europe, you're then telling us that we're dumb and that Americans don't know anything. So you're projecting your own lack of information and your own lack of critical thinking on Americans. Imagine if this was flipped and Americans were talking about London, or talking about Paris, or talking about Birmingham, or talking about anywhere over there, and being mad that your country doesn't operate like our country. Do you see how crazy you sound?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Every time I open my phone, it's another European saying some crazy shit. You cannot tell Americans how America operates. And the fact that you're saying, oh, it's not a flex not to have adequate infrastructure. Do you think anybody's happy that there's no adequate infrastructure? Do you know the price of cars? Do you know the price of gas? You don't think Americans would like to hop on a train or a tram and go places? But you know why it doesn't exist here? Racism. And that's another thing you guys don't know. You don't know anything about our fucking history, and you swear you guys are the arbiter of culture and knowledge in the world, and you know geography so much and we don't know it. Listen to Americans when they're telling you about how we operate. It's a different country. Get that through your thick skull.